Embarkation Day is the most hectic and craziest time of your whole cruise adventure. We sailed Princess many times, and here are a few things we would like to share with you to make your embarkation day much efficient and easier. So I'm gonna divide this into two sections. First one are things you could do to prepare for your trip, and the second one is the things you could do on the embarkation day itself. Pre-cruise tip number one, get your passport. Yes, I know as American you could cruise some route without having a passport and simply use your birth certificate. If something happened to you during the cruise or when you're in port and you need to be flown back for one reason or the other, there is no way you could do that without having a passport. Yes, you could reach out to the closest US embassy, but it will take a while to get the emergency passport. So get a passport. It's pretty easy. Pre-cruise tip number two, download the app. The Princess app is a very integral part of your cruise experience. So make sure you spend some time to actually understand, and of course you also have to do the check-in through the app. So download it and make sure everything works before you get on the ship. Pre-cruise tip number three, order the medallion before embarkation. Yes, it will cost you $10 per reservation, but it really is worth the money. Number one, you will be able to go through the green lane, which is shorter and faster. And number two, to be able to order the medallion, you have to clear up all your check-in procedure and all those different paperwork. That's why they don't need to pre-check too many stuff when you go through the green lane. Pre-cruise tip number four, know which things are prohibited. Every single cruise would have a list of things that they're not allowed to bring on the ship. A few examples is like hair dryer or the curling iron. The reason why is try to minimize the possibility of fire. I know it sounds contradictory because you are floating on a big giant body of water, but fire is really difficult to deal with when you are on the cruise ship. What happened? You already pack it. What they're gonna happen is they're going to confiscate it and they're gonna keep it for you until the end of your cruise, and then you get to pick it up again and bring it home. Pre-cruise tip number five, pack your carry-on with your valuables, your passport, your medallion, your medicine, and I would suggest a change of clothes. Don't forget to bring some small bills for tips. Pre-cruise tip number six, dress comfortably, especially your shoes. You don't know whether you're gonna end up walking a lot, and bring also some jacket because you don't know if you have to wait outside the building or inside the building, especially on those ports that you are not familiar with. So make sure that you are comfortable and that you're ready for a pretty decent amount of walking. Pre-cruise tip number seven, make sure you bring some snack. You're not sure how smooth the embarkation is going to be. Maybe things happen or maybe lines is very long. So you don't know how soon you could get your first meal. Make sure you bring some snack just in case. Embarkation day, tip number one, time your arrival. Choose either come in very early or come in much later. Either you come in about half an hour before the embarkation started or try to show up about 1 hour before the end of the embarkation. Avoid showing up on the middle because that's where the bulk of people and where you're gonna have to face a long line. Tips number two, where to eat. Foods are available in 3 places on embarkation day. If your embarkation started around 11, the pulled pizza and the burgers are usually already open. You also have the buffet, of course, and you also have international cafe. And this actually the most easiest to get because they are on level 5 on practically almost all ships except for the Sun Princess. The only problem is if you are going to international cafe and you don't have any of those Princess Plus or Premier or drinks, well, there will be no drinks. So make sure you refill that water bottle before you walk into the ship. Tips number 3. The muster drill. Basically a set of training where they tell you exactly what to do when their emergency happens. Every single ships are required to make sure before they leave land that every single passenger has gone through the muster drill. This is what we always do because we always travel with more than 2 people when we come in early. We would go to wherever we want to eat. So let's say it's on International Cafe or the buffet. We find a spot, we settle down, put all our carry-on, we would start getting food, then we turn off the data on our phone. We will turn on the airplane mode and connect to medallion net. We would open the app and we will run the master drill video while we're eating. Once we are done with that, we are ready to register to the master drill station. So what we would do, we would split into two groups, with one group going down to the master drill station to tap in and to report it that you already did the master drill and that you visited your master station, and then switch to another group. That way we don't have to carry all our luggage. The least amount of things that you carry while you are roaming around, the easier it is for everybody. So try to do it fast and lean. If we happen to arrive late, means that our room is already, then we would watch the master drill while we unpacking in our room. From there, we simply go to the master station once we are done. Tip number 4, rooms are not ready until 1 p.m. Sure, there are some rooms that are actually ready ahead of time, but to make life easier, just set the 1 p.m. as your cutoff time. So whatever the things that you need to use before 1 p.m., make sure you have it with your carry-on. That's including your bathing suit. Our last tip, travel like when you walk in the ship, but check in your big luggage. Your carry-on should be as light as possible, so you would be able to use the stairs if you need to. During the embarkation day is the day that you have to go up and down the floors a lot more often than usual. Remember, embarkation day is the time when people have to travel up and down the ship and when they want to go to the buffet or even their own room. This is especially important for people with mobility issue because that's their only mode of transport. If you do have to take the elevator, try to get the one all the way aft or all the way forward. Save the one in the middle for the crowd. Even better, if you are hanging out in International Cafe, you would be able to just take the stairs to go to your master station, come back, and then all you have to do is take one more last elevator to your room. This is Angelia from Port Lowdown Tips.